Hello everybody! How are you today? My name is Grandpa Dog. I live in solitude, in a small house, on a distant island. I read a lot, and I'm always ready to tell you about something interesting. We live in an enormous and amazing world. People call it the sky, outer space, the universe, creation. The world around us has no limits and boundaries. And this world is filled with a sea of stars, planets, comets, and stellar islands, the galaxies. Where should I start my story? I think I will start with the eyes. Our eyes easily distinguish what is close to us and what is far. But when we look up at the sky, then our eyes often deceive us. Indeed, what is more distant from us? The sun, the moon, or the stars? Here, for example, are the clouds. They are also very high above, but in fact, it only seems to us that the clouds float very high. Look, mountain peaks go right into the clouds. And look, a plane is flying above the clouds. How I envy the pilots. They fly on top, over the clouds, and fair sky is always above them. And the clouds float under the plane and look like big heaps of snow. Clouds are fog that has accumulated high above the ground. People have found this out climbing high mountains, flying, and ballooning. Above the pilots, a space station where astronauts live and work floats in the void of outer space. They look through the viewing ports at the Earth and see rivers, seas, forests and deserts. The astronauts watch the clouds float far below. And satellites fly even higher. They explore distant planets, stars, and of course our Earth. Yes, from here you can clearly see that our Earth is a big, beautiful ball. We can see continents and oceans. Somewhere out there, far, far away, people live. Today, of course, any man knows that the Earth is a ball. Before, however, everything was different. People imagined the Earth was not like that. For example, in India, people thought the flat Earth rested on 3 elephants. The elephants stand on a giant turtle swimming in the ocean, with no borders and bottom. Different peoples of the world imagine space in different ways. But how did people find out that the Earth is a ball? This is a fascinating story. Once upon a time, there lived some eccentrics who wanted to make it to the horizon. Of course, they never succeeded. A man walks and walks, and the horizon moves away. Then they realized that there was no horizon. Now, take a look at the ships. They sail away further and further and disappear as if they have drowned. It's just that they went beyond the horizon. Now people realized the Earth was actually round, and ships whipped out of sight behind its bulge. And then the daredevils decided to go around the Earth. They fitted the ships out and pulled anchor. The voyage lasted 3 full years and was very difficult and dangerous. The voyagers had a tough time facing many hardships, and the sailors who survived and returned home said the Earth was enormous. In the old days, only the most adventurous people could set out on such an odyssey, but now everything is completely different. There are large and fast ships today, and there are cars and planes that didn't exist before. And people speak quite differently about the Earth. For example, pilots assure us the Earth is neither big nor small. A fast plane can circle it in one day. If you fly out at sunrise in summer, by the end of the day, you will return to the same location, only from the other side. And astronauts say the Earth is very small. It takes just an hour and a half for them to circle our planet. And now, let's compare the Earth with other planets. The Earth is larger than the Moon, our satellite. It's also bigger than the red planet Mars. However, if you compare the Earth with Jupiter or Saturn, it turns out to be very small. Remember, guys, cognition comes through comparison. Next time, I'll tell you about something else. And now it's time for me to go home. Goodbye, guys. So yes. Interesting. More oxygen. Guys. Hello. How are you? Here I am, reading an interesting book. The book tells us about the air we breathe. Want to know about air? Well, listen and watch. We live on a beautiful planet. There is no other planet like our Earth. Our Earth, like a huge magnet, attracts everything: plants, animals, people, and air. Air fills everything around, all gaps, cracks, and smallest cavities. There is air even in the water. all living things breathe. Plants and animals breathe. I wonder, guys, can you see the air? I mean, it seems to be transparent and colorless. It appears that you can. Look at this. Distant mountains seem to be separated from us by a light haze. This haze is air. Air becomes visible when there is a lot of it. And air is best seen from outer space. From there, you can clearly see that our Earth is enveloped by a beautiful blue strip. This is air, and its real name is the atmosphere. The big ocean of air, at the bottom of which we live. We can also feel the air. Indeed, air can be warm, even hot, and cold. And air is constantly moving. The movement can be light, a gentle breeze, or strong. Even hurricanes happen. People have long since learned how to use the power of the wind. Wind puts in motion wind turbines that rotate mill-grinding plates, pump water from wells and ponds, and produce electric current. And people have long dreamt of traveling by air. For the first time ever, people managed to catch the air in a hot air balloon. And only later did people create airplanes and helicopters. Today, no one is surprised by these flights. You know, guys, people often ask me, what would happen if there was no air? If there was no air, there would be no life on Earth. There would be no clouds without air. Birds and planes would not fly, and seas and oceans would freeze and turn into ice deserts. Without air, a light feather will fall like a heavy hammer. Let's ask this astronaut to drop a hammer and feather. See, they fall with the same speed. This is because there's no air. See, guys, what air means to us. Well, that's it for now. See you next time.